can do to make it happen.
I think that Scout and Danny should live with me.
Lucky you dodged a bullet.
What I want to know is, where did you get them?
No one moves without my dough.
What about our daughter? Is she alive?
You show me Sasha, I'll show you guys.
If Olivia's throwing a fit about Scout and Danny staying with Alexis, maybe someone should remind her, wait a minute, they're not even her grandkids. Sure, they're technically quartermains thanks to Jason and Drew, but let's be real, neither of those two is winning any Father of the Year awards. If I had to pick, I trust Jason over Drew though. At least Jason's consistently around, even if he's off doing his usual superhero thing. Speaking of Jason, it looks like Holly had this brilliant little plan to run off with the diamonds. But of course, Jason had to ruin it by insisting they hand them over together, which translates to Jason's about to ruin everything. No surprise there, he's basically a one-man wrecking crew when it comes to other people's plans. And don't even get me started on Jason's role as the resident hero. He's out here taking down villains like it's his side gig, Faith Roscoe, Manny Ruiz, Cesar Faison, and now, apparently, Sidwell's next on his list. Honestly, at this point, Jason's practically Superman on General Hospital. Go, Jason, go! Meanwhile, I'm starting to think one of the writers has some unresolved issues with a woman named Sasha, because seriously, what has this poor woman done to deserve this much misery? It's one traumatic event after another, and it seems like she can't catch a break. Someone get this woman some peace, for crying out loud. And Holly, she can just take Robert with her when she leaves. After what he did to Diana, I'm done with both of them. As for the kids, I say they're exactly where they should be with Alexis. Drew clearly has no idea what he's doing. Sam's barely been gone 5 minutes, and Drew's already whining to Carly, asking how to raise a little girl. Well, Drew, maybe start by actually stepping up and figuring it out on your own. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Robert would have been far better off if Holly had just stayed in Africa. Honestly, I don't buy for a second that Robert's actually Sasha's father. Holly's smart enough to know he'd go out of his way to protect Sasha if he thought she was his kid. So what's stopping her from just fudging a few DNA results? Holly's been around the WSB block long enough to know how to get DNA tests adjusted if she really wanted to. Heck, throw a couple of diamonds at someone on the inside and voila. Suddenly, Sasha's his daughter on paper. And as for Cody and Sasha, I wouldn't be shocked if they're not even cousins, let alone anything close to siblings. Honestly, it's about time they get their own DNA test done, and without any WSB interference. On another note, I'm thrilled Alexis has Sunny for support right now. She's come so far, and I just hope, really hope, the writers don't decide to have her spiral back to drinking once all this chaos settles. Now, looking at today's preview, it's clear Alexis and Olivia technically don't have any legal rights over Danny or Scout. And Danny, he's old enough to want to be with his father, Jason, which will probably devastate Alexis and, of course, stir up the drama with Olivia. Olivia has zero biological connection to either Danny or Scout, so it'd be best if she just stepped back and let things play out. Besides, if Dante and Olivia made a clean break from those kids, everyone involved would probably be better off. Dante could even move out of the penthouse, hand it back to Jason and Danny, and let them have a family holiday season. Sure, Alexis is grieving, but if she decides to pursue custody of Scout, she might actually stand a chance. All she'd have to do is take Drew to court. And if Michael turns over that video of Drew with Willow, she could really have the upper hand. I mean, Drew and Willow together. Yikes. But really, does Alexis have the nerve to act all high and mighty here? Danny's more than old enough to choose where he wants to live, and while Scout's father might not win a Dad of the Year award, at least he's not a criminal, which, legally speaking, puts him on firmer ground than Alexis, especially given her history. For now, honestly, the kids are better off with the Quartermains. Not forever, just while Alexis gets a grip. She's barely holding it together, and bringing Scout and Danny into that mess would only hurt them. Sure, they need their grandmother and aunts around, but they don't need to be a lifeline for Alexis. If anything, it feels like she needs them more than they need her right now. They might be helping her stay away from the bottle, but that's not fair to them or her. Let them stay at the cues for now. As for Sasha, I can totally see her and Jason pairing up, with him even claiming her baby as his to protect Michael. It's the kind of plot twist that's practically trademark Jason. And can Holly please just go? They keep bringing her back, and for what? She's a boring character who adds nothing to the show. Half the viewers probably don't even know who she is. I also hope Olivia doesn't think Scout and Danny should stay with the Qs permanently. For one, she has no actual claim to those kids, and it's unclear why she suddenly thinks she's the Quartermain matriarch. She's no Leela or Monica, that's for sure. She should probably focus on her own family drama, like telling her grandson Gio who he really is, instead of acting like she's in charge of Scout and Danny's lives. As for Drew, if he's serious about this new life with Willow, maybe he should start acting like it. At the end of the day, if a kid has a living parent, they probably want to live with them. Jason and Drew may not live squeaky clean lives, but they're good fathers who love Danny and Scout. Jason had a family life with Sam until she threw him out, and Drew had the same until she put him out. They love those kids, and that should mean something. This shouldn't turn into a custody brawl. Let's be real, Alexis and Olivia are hardly in the running for Mother of the Year awards. I've seen worse choices made by family court systems. Meanwhile, Sasha could use a rescue, and Robert might be her best shot. Alexis, meanwhile, is neck-deep in regrets over Sam, finding every coping mechanism she can to get through it all. I just hope it doesn't spill over and affect Scout. Drew, it's high time you step up and be the father Scout deserves. And as for Christina and Molly, they need to resolve their feud if they're going to support their mom through this mess. Alexis is juggling way too much on her own right now. Carly is, as usual, everywhere and in everyone's business. She's at the Quartermain estate with Danny. Then she's all over Drew, popping up with Sasha and Willow. Somehow ends up in the WSB with Brennan, and finally lands in GA's employee locker room, meddling with Brad and Lucas. And let's be real, she's doing all this in the same outfit, so this has to be one whirlwind of a day for her. And the plot hole with Sidwell knowing Sasha is Holly's daughter? Come on, how would he possibly know when Sasha's own father only found out a few days ago? Definitely a gap in logic right there. Now, those scenes between Sunny and Alexis today, they're always so powerful together, and Maurice and Nancy don't even need dialogue to convey their emotions. You can just see what they're feeling. When Sunny was there, supporting Alexis as she blamed herself for putting Sam up for adoption, it was heartbreaking. Then Sunny, in classic Sunny fashion, reminded her of the good she's passed on to Sam, saying, Lulu needed help, and Sam didn't think twice about it. You know why? Because she learned that from her mom. And the line that hit hardest, you may not have been there in the beginning, but you were there at the finish. Cue the tears. Then there were those lighter moments between Carly and Brennan, which honestly felt like a breath of fresh air in all the heavy stuff. They have this cute chemistry, and Brennan's parting line, "That dirty look was totally uncalled for, young lady," was classic. The Sunny and Alexis scenes really do bring back memories of their early days together when she was his lawyer and they were the best of friends. They've always shared a unique bond that goes beyond words and takes us right back to why Christina came into the picture. Those two will always have a special connection, no matter what. Portia hogging the screen today was exhausting, so much airtime, and all for her constant poor me routine. Meanwhile, Sam gets sidelined. Talk about a casting misstep. And don't even get me started on Holly. she seriously needs to make her exit. And Robert, he would have been way better off if Holly had just stayed in Africa. This whole storyline of him being Sasha's father, I'm not buying it. Holly's fully capable of lying about it to get him on her side, because she knows he'd go out of his way to protect Sasha if he thought she was his kid. She's a WSB veteran. She could have easily paid someone with a couple of diamonds to tweak the DNA results before handing them over to Sonny. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cody and Sasha aren't even related. Holly could be lying about everything. Cody and Sasha need a real DNA test done without Holly's influence. Thank goodness Alexis has Sonny to lean on right now. She's come such a long way, and I hope the writers don't push her back to the bottle after all this. Now, from what I'm seeing in tomorrow's preview, Alexis and Olivia seem way too invested in Danny and Scout's lives, especially since neither of them has any actual legal claim over the kids. Olivia needs to zip it and realize she has zero rights when it comes to Danny and Scout's living arrangements. And honestly, it'd be best for everyone if Dante and Olivia took a step back altogether. Rumor has it that Danny's going to choose to live with Jason, and if Alexis spirals, it could be her undoing. Supposedly, she's set to relapse in the coming weeks, which would be heartbreaking. If this plays out as expected, Dante might end up nudging Jason and Danny to embrace their father-son bond now that Sam's out of the way, and who knows? It wouldn't be a shock if Jason and Danny end up moving in with Carly soon. With all this family drama, it's hard to see any other way this could go. Can we please get Diane a more suitable love interest? The chemistry just isn't there with Robert. He's more aged gentleman than catch. Diane needs someone with energy, charisma, and looks to match her vibrant personality. And yes, Holly does have another child, Ethan. His father was Luke Spencer, which means he's got all the rebellious genes a kid could ask for. Ethan's been a bit of a wanderer, last spotted off on some mysterious adventure, which fits right in with his unpredictable family history. Tracy's line to Cody about asking for only $50,000 in hush money from Drew. Classic Tracy. She flat out told him he should have gone for $100 million. It was hilarious and just shows how well they're building this unexpected friendship between Tracy and Cody. You've got to love her biting humor. It's definitely giving Cody the tough love he needs. Oh, and about Jason. He didn't find out Monica wasn't his biological mother until he was an adult. He grew up thinking of her as his real mom, which added a whole layer of drama to his already complicated family dynamics once he learned the truth. Now, I have to wonder about the double standard in this age gap drama. People got up in arms over Drew and Willow's age difference, but the same age gap exists between Jason and Sasha, and no one's batting an eye. Jason's in his early 50s, Sasha's mid-30s, and yet folks are ready to ship them. And if the uncle factor matters, let's not forget Jason is Michael's uncle, which is even closer than Drew's tie to Willow. Speaking of unexpected connections, how funny is it that both Olivia and Alexis have shared romantic histories with Julian, Sonny, and Ned? Talk about overlapping love lives. And can I just say how much I love Tracy's conversations with Cody and the kids? She's tough, but has a soft spot for helping people like Cody get ahead. It wouldn't surprise me if she helps him finally get that house he's after. Tracy has a way of making things happen. Sam's current setup is pretty cozy. She's living in penthouse number 2 with her kids, Danny and Scout, while Jason technically owns the place but left it to them for their safety. After their breakup to keep the kids out of mob trouble, he moved out, and Dante moved in with his son Rocco last fall. It's a full house, but it's got stability for now. Alexis, though, can't help but see herself as the ideal guardian for her grandkids. She wants what's best for Danny and Scout, but the reality is that they belong with their fathers. It's about time Jason and Drew take the plunge and focus on parenting. Both have dodged those responsibilities long enough, and the kids deserve to come first now. As for the idea of Jason and Dante moving into the Quartermain mansion, at this rate, they might need the space. Hotel Quartermain has enough rooms to rival Buckingham Palace. And honestly, with all the overlapping family members there, it's practically a hotel already. Holly and Robert, on the other hand, are in their own little dysfunctional world. Honestly, they probably do deserve each other. Robert is still so soft when it comes to Holly, who's all but roped him into her chaos. If anything happens to Sasha, that's squarely on Holly's shoulders. And Willow? She's quick to point fingers at Michael for his secrecy, but isn't she guilty of the same thing with Drew? It's a bit hypocritical if you ask me, given that she's kept her own secrets under wraps too. These characters could really use a dose of their own advice. It's true, we only see bits and pieces of these characters' lives, so it's easy to forget the context. Jason hasn't exactly had a chance to be a consistent father given his chosen career, but his love for Danny is there. And Drew may not get much screen time with Scout, but he's shown he can be a committed parent. Just look at his relationship with Oscar. Not seeing those moments doesn't mean they're absent fathers, just that their screen time is focused on other things. As for Alexis, it's hard to make a strong case for her raising the kids, given that we don't see much interaction with them either. Alexis's recent scene with Curtis, where she admitted she loved nothing more than to numb her pain with a drink, was incredibly powerful. It's a realistic portrayal of recovery, the struggle to stay sober, especially when things get rough. For viewers who are in recovery themselves, like you, seeing Alexis stay sober despite everything could be genuinely inspiring. I hope the writers continue showing her as a strong, sober character because it's such a rare and positive storyline. And about Leo, is he still at the Quartermain mansion, or did he vanish into thin air? It feels like he's been missing from the storyline, and as Sam's brother, he really should have more of a presence. The Drew and Willow situation is definitely a stretch. It's one thing for characters to have complicated pasts, but Drew being with Willow and having been with her mother in the same time frame just doesn't sit right. Past relationship entanglements can be interesting, but this feels like it's pushing it to uncomfortable territory. We want compelling, suspenseful storylines that make us look forward to the next episode, not constant romantic rehashes that leave us bored. And yes, this new portrayal of Lucas is refreshing. He's dealing with the grief of losing his sister, which is bound to bring out a raw and emotional side. He deserves some empathy as he works through it, not criticism. It's amazing how quickly Willow has mastered the art of lying. She's gone from innocent to deceitful, lying straight to Michael's face, and even signaling Drew to keep quiet with that not-so-subtle look. It didn't go unnoticed either. Michael saw it, and now the jig is up. Willow's change is definitely raising eyebrows. And Cody? He's really stepped up his game lately, and even longtime skeptics are starting to warm up to him. From finding his place in the Scorpio family to calling out Drew and Willow's affair, and even working out deals with Tracy, he's added some depth and grit to his character. It's a great turnaround for someone who initially seemed like a bit of a throwaway character, and it's impressive that he's winning over fans on GH Twitter after such a rocky start. And here's a fun fact, Cody and Cutter, both played by the same actor, have an interesting overlap as characters. Both made a living off scamming people, only fitting that the same actor would bring that shady yet charming quality to both roles. It's like his specialty. It's honestly baffling that Diane hasn't been by Alexis's side yet. Alexis is dealing with so much, and as her best friend, Diane should be there offering support, not off crying to Jason about Robert. It feels like an odd oversight, especially when we've seen other characters, like Curtis and Sunny, making the effort to visit Alexis in her time of need. Even though it's only been a night in the show's timeline, the fact that Diane hasn't appeared yet, despite clearly knowing what's happened, makes her absence feel even more glaring. And the pacing of everything going on only adds to the feeling of things being off. Between all the chaos with the kidnapping, Drew and Willow's affair, Curtis and Portia's drama, Jason running all over town, hospital, the queues, Bobby's, meetings to take down Sidwell, it's like one never-ending day. It's hard to keep up with what's happening. But in the midst of all that, Alexis's situation really feels like it's being sidelined, especially when her best friend should be front and center, supporting her. It's strange, and fans are definitely noticing. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.